And I thought I would do a bit of a spring garden tour. So spring actually started last week, but the garden is still sort of hibernating because I live in quite a cold climate over winter. It's really hot in summer, but it's really cold in winter. So we can't really get started until September, October in the garden. But I'll show you how it's done over winter and what it's doing now. As you can see, the chives are coming back really well. These were some grapes I planted last year, so we'll see if they do anything. My chili bush is looking a bit dead, but I'm hoping it comes back now that the weather's warmer. I've got 2 strawberries up here, which are doing pretty well. We've got a rhubarb over here, which is coming back. You'll see if you watched my videos last year, I have used some rocks here just to tear the garden up a bit because I was losing quite a lot of soil and water out the bottom. The cockatoos like to rip the branches off this tree. So I've got 4 big gum trees right next to my house, not gum trees, pine trees. And the cockatoos like to rip the branches off and throw them in my garden, so that's very annoying. But over there we've got a oregano, which has actually done really well over winter. The strawberries are doing really well over here. So this area is a bit of a problem child because not a lot grows here. I'm not sure if it's because of the pine trees or it doesn't get a lot of sun. I don't know what it is, but not a lot grows here. But we've got the parsley here, which is doing amazingly. So I think I might try to plant some more herbs here. We've got some things coming up here, which I think I might have planted last year. So I don't really know what they are. So these ones here are obviously beetroot. We've got some flowers that I planted coming in. Again, not sure what these are. They might be cauliflower maybe. Parsley's doing really well. This part up here didn't have anything in it last year, so I'm going to try to put something in there. More flowers, more strawberries. Now unfortunately the lemongrass obviously didn't do well over winter considering it's a tropical plant. But I'm hoping if I cut it, it'll come back. So then we've got some thyme down here. We've got some chamomile over there, which is actually doing quite well. So it was over the other side last year and I moved it right at the end of summer. And it has actually done way better over here, so I think I'm just going to leave that. You can see I've still got one of my watering things up here. This whole thing, I think up here I'm going to do a Three Sisters deal. So this is going to be corn, beans and pumpkins, and they're going to sort of trail down here. Mostly because this area is sort of like a medium heat sort of area. And I've got bigger plans for what was there last time. My blueberries have actually done amazingly well. All of these have got potatoes in them. More potatoes there, and we've got more potatoes over here which are doing really well. These are a different variety to these ones, which is why these ones are a bit slower. Down here I've got a whole bunch of orange seeds that I started last year and they're actually growing. This was going to be lettuce, but I think it's dying. Over here we've got a rose cut-in that I planted. It was doing really well, but now it's started to die off, so I think I'm going to put a cover back over it just to sort of, I don't know, it didn't do well. In here we've got a whole bunch of carrots coming up. So there's another blueberry which is doing really well, and a strawberry. I've cut this back a bit more. Another blueberry up the back there. The sage is still doing really well. It didn't actually die off over winter, which is weird, but great. So this is a cherry tree here. Hoping to actually get some cherries off that this year. So these are just the sticks that I cut off that tree there. It was blocking the sun, which is why I cut it back. I have left it so that it is climbing up the fence a bit. I also think I might be horribly allergic to it, so we'll see how long it lasts. So this little bed here, I think we've got, again, some beetroot coming up. I planted a whole heap of stuff in here, but not a lot of it is coming through, so we'll see what comes. So these are the beds that did the best. So we've got some, I think, cabbage or cauliflower coming up here. They've been coming up all winter. Flat leaf parsley. At the back there you can sort of see I had 2 passion fruits in there, but they haven't done very well over winter, so we'll see if they come back. Chives. This is peas that I've had coming up. There's a few carrots and sort of little things planted in amongst it. Down here again we've got some carrots growing underneath that mat. Over here is where I planted garlic last year. I'm not entirely sure how well this is going to do because it sort of looks like it might be dying back because it came up in autumn. So I planted these in autumn and they came up and then they overwintered, which was meant to be fine for my area, but I don't know, they should be much bigger than that. So I'm not sure if they're going to keep growing now or if I planted them too early and I should have planted them possibly at the end of winter instead of at the end of autumn. And then this area up here is where I'm going to put the tomatoes this year because it gets the most sun, and capsicums will go down here. And that is just a thyme that I planted last year, which I'm hoping is sort of going to cascade over here and provide me a bit more ground cover. As you can see, the whole courtyard's a bit of a mess over winter, so I'm going to get that a big clean up before spring gets into full whack, and then I can get to planting when the weather warms up a bit. Something else which is new this year, so I only moved in here last year. So we've got the mint, which I've just pulled out all the dead bits, so I'll give it a bit of a water and it'll come back great because mint never dies. But we do actually have a worm farm as well, which I've only just put in. There's not a lot going on in there at the moment. It is full, that will let them do their thing. And hopefully that will give me some great worm castings for the garden.